Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen two people use the exact same trading strategy where one of them makes consistent money and the other one just fails spectacularly? It is one of the biggest puzzles in trading. And I'll tell you right now, the answer has almost nothing to do with getting great at picking winners. So let's break down what that real difference is.
Right, so picture this. You've got trader A, who just, steadily grows their account. It's not always flashy, but it's consistent. And then you've got trader B, who seems to just lurch from one disaster to the next, blowing up accounts. But here's the crazy part. They are using the identical strategy. The same charts, the same signals, the whole shebang. So if the strategy is the same, what on earth is the variable? What separates the profit from the pain?
I mean, really think about it. If it's not the strategy, what is that invisible force? That one key thing that makes all the difference? This is the question we are going to unpack right now. And there it is. That's the secret sauce. The game isn't about finding more winners. It's about radically, obsessively controlling the size of your losers. It sounds so simple, right? But internalizing this one idea is literally what separates the pros from everyone else.
It all begins with a complete 180 in how you look at the market. You have to move your entire focus away from the dream of big profits and get obsessed with the reality of protection. And this right here perfectly captures that mindset shift. A beginner looks at a setup and their brain just lights up with possibility. The first thing they ask is, how much can I make? A pro, on the other hand, looks at that exact same setup and their first, most important question is, okay, where can this go wrong? How much can I lose? They define their risk before they even let themselves dream about the reward.
Look, you have to get this through your head. You are going to be wrong. A lot. Even the absolute best traders on the planet are wrong all the time. That's not the problem. Being wrong is just part of the business. The real account-killing disaster is when one single loss gets so out of hand that it completely wipes out the hard work of your last 10 winning trades. That's losing control.
And this isn't just some nice philosophy. This is cold, hard math. The numbers behind trading survival, well, they're completely unforgiving. But if you understand them, they become your greatest weapon.
This chart is, honestly, it should be a little terrifying. Because this is where the danger becomes crystal clear. If you let your account drop by 50%, you don't need a 50% gain to get back to where you started. No, you need a 100% gain just to break even. This is the death spiral of big losses. The deeper the hole you dig, it gets exponentially harder to climb back out.
So how do you completely avoid that nightmare scenario? Well, it's a simple, non-negotiable rule. So many pros live and die by this. Risk just 1% of your entire account on any single trade. That's it, 1%. It's not a guideline, it's your lifeline. It makes it mathematically impossible for any one trade to ever sink your ship.
And the tool you use to make this happen is called position sizing. It means your trade size is decided by math, not by your gut feeling. You don't risk more just because you feel really good about this one. And you don't risk less because you're scared. The risk is always that fixed 1%. And you just adjust your position size to fit that rule every single time.
And here is where the magic happens. When you control your risk, you can let your winners run. Check out this example. Let's say you risk $100 to make $300. Now look what happens after 10 trades. You were wrong 60% of the time. 6 losses, only 4 wins. And you still walked away with a $600 profit. This is how professionals make a living. They don't need a crystal ball. They just need their winners to be bigger than their losers.
Okay, so this mathematical approach has this incredible side effect, and it's all psychological. When you control the numbers on the outside, you gain total control over the emotions on the inside. You start trading with cool, calm discipline instead of gut-wrenching fear.
All of a sudden, that constant fear of blowing up just evaporates. The panic that makes you do stupid things, gone. You stop sweating every tiny little tick of the market because you know, with absolute certainty, the maximum amount of money you can possibly lose. The outcome is already defined and accepted.
This is the key to trading with a clear head. You have to accept the potential loss as a simple cost of doing business before you even hit the buy or sell button. Once you've genuinely accepted that risk, what's left to be afraid of? The trade will either work or it won't. Either way, it's a manageable outcome. And this newfound emotional control, it leads to massive changes in your behavior. Discipline isn't a struggle anymore. It becomes a habit. Consistency just happens. You stop overtrading because you can't afford to waste your precious risk allowance on mediocre setups. It forces you to be patient, to be selective. Quality, finally, replaces quantity. And you know what? Your whole definition of a good trade changes. You stop judging yourself based on whether you won or lost money. That's a coin flip. Instead, you ask yourself, did I follow my process? Did I stick to my rules? Did I manage my risk? If the answer is yes, then that was a successful trade, period. The financial outcome is secondary.
So when you combine the math, the psychology, and the discipline, it all points toward one ultimate goal: the real edge in this business, simply playing the long game.
Let's be real for a second. Disciplined risk management is not sexy. It doesn't give you that heart-pounding, all-in thrill you see in movies, but that thrill is cheap and it's fleeting. What this gives you instead is something way more valuable: longevity. The ability to just stay in the game long enough for your actual skills to pay off.
Because at the end of the day, that's all trading is. It's a game of probabilities, not predictions. And any statistical edge you might have only shows up over a huge sample size. We're talking hundreds, even thousands of trades. And the only way you get to make hundreds of trades is if you can survive all the inevitable losing streaks along the way.
So if you take one thing away from this, let it be this: your number one job, your prime directive as a trader, is not to make money. It is to protect the capital you have. Profit is just a byproduct of doing an excellent job of protection.
Think about it this way. Your capital is your business. It's your inventory. It is your ticket to the entire game. If you lose it, you are out. You're on the sidelines. You can't participate anymore. So protecting that capital at all costs means you will always be around to take that next great opportunity when it comes along.
So ultimately, it really just boils down to this. It's easy and it's fun to get all excited about finding that perfect entry, that secret indicator, that can't-lose strategy. That's the exciting part. But the boring stuff, the strict, relentless risk management, and the unwavering discipline, that's what actually makes you profitable over the long run.
And that leaves us with one final question for you to think about. Every time you're about to put on a trade, just ask yourself this: are you playing to win this one hand, trying to get rich quick? Or are you playing like a professional with a strategy designed to keep you at the table and in this game forever?